A pleasure to meet y'all at last, and welcome back to some more Super Foam Flying. And today we're going to be talking a bit more about the Mega line, because as it is right now, it's not necessarily in that good of a place. Because considering the fact that what the Mega XL series, especially with the big rig that you can see right here behind me, has gotten us into, it seems fair to say that we're not really going to be getting any kind of vibe like they used to give us back in the day. But so far the past 10 years, with the way that the Mega line had pretty much been produced up until around 2020, which seems to be the estimated point in time toward the original Mega line had died off, I really ought to say that there has been lots of new stuff that came around. And one of those new things would happen to be probably some of the biggest ever pieces of Mega blasting power itself. And this right here is certainly not as big as a good amount of blasters that I've talked about, including the AccuStrike Raptor Strike and the Zombie Strike Revoltinator. But in all serious cases, the Mega Twinshock is pretty impressive by all means. Of all Mega blasters that I've talked about, this one actually might be in, well, any sort of top countdown I please. And there's a good chance that one day this might end up in probably another sort of Nerf Secret Revealed tie-in. Especially with the upcoming sequel to Nerf Secret Reveal Bolts of Intrigue known as Ambiguous Ambition. But of course, this blaster will in fact be featured, at least for a few parts of that film. But in any case, the way that the Twinshock works is as simple as using this foregrip on the bottom to prime the blaster, and then simply using the trigger to fire. Now, in the same way that some other blasters out there with a smart AR system like the Rough Cut, this blaster does in fact feature smart AR system technology itself. And to use smart AR systems for a Mega blaster is a bit of a different approach. A design aspect that is going to require some different detailing and some better work in order to make it an accomplishment. But I will say in this case that they actually managed to do it pretty well in this case, because trigger pull is really smooth considering how this is a Mega blaster. I've talked before about the Moto Strike, which is probably the most recent Mega blaster that we have from the original lineup. And then of course, well, with all of the Mega XL blasters that I've talked about, it seems fair to say that, at least in comparison to how the original line works, each of these blasters maybe in their own right probably have some good they have to offer with the functionality that they utilize. But the Twinshock does have smart AR systems that work rather effectively. And so, by simply using the prime on the bottom, it's got some nice ratcheting action, and then by simply utilizing the trigger in order to pull it slightly to release one dart, all the way for the second one, or just simply pull it back all the way to release both darts at the same time, as this blaster will in fact fire 5 times by utilizing the shotgun blast, pretty much. So, in a way that could probably be a bit of a problem right there, because since this blaster only holds 10 Mega darts, you can pretty much expect to fly through them in almost instantly. And with that in mind, that probably is one of a few things that I might have to complain about this one in particular. Also, its menacing size doesn't necessarily seem to be necessary. But then again, when discussing other blasters that might fit our stature, especially with the likes of the Flipshot's Flip 16 you'd see up here, the Ultra 3, the Rival Nemesis, and some others, the Mega Twinshock does in fact do whatever it can to utilize the best of a 6-foot tall body frame, like my very own. And then of course we also cannot forget some other things about this blaster, including a couple sling mounts, a small little foregrip on the bottom, which probably won't really be necessary as one hand needs to be focused on priming the blaster, but you could optionally hold on to this if you felt more comfortable doing so. And you also have a couple tactical rails on top, and this is probably where I could spot another goof right here, a missed opportunity where they probably could have utilized the tack rail throughout almost the entire length of the blaster. Not counting the sling adaptation points that you see right here, right there, and right here, just above the barrels. They probably could have used this space right here to put the tactical rail, so this way it would start off all the way from here and work its way all the way up to the front sling mount. And so why they had to put this gap right here in between them, I guess we'll probably not know for sure. They're probably just wanting it to make it seem like it's more efficient and a way to perhaps take the attachments off easily. So this way you don't have to go and screw them up all the way to the back right here. Or if, better yet, there probably is something in the way of this one right here, as you could fit 2 attachments on here. Maybe 3 if you were able to, and depending on what you can find. But in any case, the Twinshock is probably not my ultimate favorite Mega Blaster out there, because others like the Moto Strike and the Roto Fury have also done pretty well in regards to the Mega line. This is a good blaster, almost great, but the real big issues are, well, the capacity probably could have been done better, the firing action probably could make it so you don't waste all your darts at once, and if the tactical rail were to have some more capacity on it, in case you wanted to have yourself an ultimate customization with this one, then maybe I probably would feel a lot more sympathetic with this particular design. But in any case, this is pretty much just my take on the Mega Twinshock. And I haven't, in fact, talked a lot about different Mega Blasters out there, especially across the board with what the first Flying with the Foam series had offered here on HJ. And then, of course, we can't forget about both of the Aftersaught series, which, of course, tallied up to well over 120 episodes. And so, with that in mind, this is pretty much all that I got to offer for today. And if you want to see more, go down to my channel, then make sure that you like, subscribe, comment, follow me on social media, and stay on the Hollywood side.